my name is Terry. The next investigation footage will cover St. Barnabas Cemetery. This isn't its true name. I've changed it to prevent vandalism and its true location from being revealed. It's probably the most haunted cemetery in all of Missouri because of the extreme levels of activity and the variety that take place inside of it. One of the forms of activity that occur in this cemetery are shadow people. These are black, humanoid-shaped figures that are seen moving about the gravestones, and they can move with extreme speed. During one instance, I actually saw one of these beings. I tried to move as quickly toward it as I could, but it quickly vanished. When I reached the site it had been standing at, I noticed that there was a freshly dug grave at that location. I decided to go ahead and take some pictures. You'll notice in the first picture there's a strange light. It's like a streak of light. I took a second photo. It's also present in the second photo, but it seems to be dissipating. By the time the third photo was taken, it had completely disappeared and was no longer visible. In this video clip, you'll notice that something appears to have fallen from the tree and hit the ground. There's nothing unusual about that. I would have expected acorns or some other object could have fallen from the tree. But if you look carefully, after whatever it is hits the ground, which you can hear hitting the ground, there's an upward path of light traveling from the ground up into the air after whatever it is has hit the ground. I can't explain this. This is one of the most interesting EVP voices we've ever gotten. It's of children shouting, "We're here." We're in the middle of a cemetery in the middle of the night. There are no children present. We can't account for this voice. In the next clip, one of the members of our group can be heard laughing. But after they're finished, there's a pause and you can notice that another laugh is heard. This is none of the members of our group, and it seems to be out of sync with what their conversation was, as if whatever it was heard what they were saying and laughed, but it was out of sync in the time frame that they were laughing. The next clip contains a very strange sound. It's almost like the cover stone of a cemetery grave being slid to the side. There's also another unexplained sound at the very end of it, like it's either sealing shut. The following sound occurs at one specific location inside the cemetery. It's in the far western corner. The sound of air escaping from a bottle is very commonly documented here. We've recorded it on several occasions, and we have no accounting for it because there's no source for this sound. but yet when we return on these investigations, it's frequently heard. The next clip contains a whispering voice. None of us heard this at the time it was recorded. The next EVP voice is very interesting. If you listen very carefully, you can hear it say the name William. There was no one present by that name. We don't know who it was attempting to contact or if it was identifying himself as William. The next scene contains an unexplained light. My friend who's taking a picture with his camera can be seen in the distance on the hillside. If you look behind him, there's another light. This is none of his pieces of equipment, and there was no one behind him when this was taken. The following shadow anomaly was captured by Tom Hallstad on his camera. In the first photograph, he noticed that there was something odd going on and he snapped a photo. You'll notice that a large portion of the frame is blacked out. Whereas in the frame that he immediately took afterwards, whatever it was had disappeared, and it is a normal exposure in the photograph. Most orb photographs are nothing more than dust or moisture in the air. However, at this cemetery, genuine orbs can be photographed. These are self-illuminating lights, not the pale, opaque lights that most people claim as genuine orb photos. In the following group of photographs, you'll see samples of these lights. They range in color from white to yellow to orange, and on occasion they will also be blue to green in color. One of the types of activity that's very unique to this cemetery are the phantom mists and specters that are frequently photographed inside the cemetery. These are mists of light. Sometimes they will even assume a human shape. Other occasions they'll appear as a hovering blanket of light among the tombstones. They can vary in size from very small lights to extremely large. I've seen some instances where they appear to be about 10 feet across in size. These lights are very commonly photographed and they're very well documented. We have not been able to find any source or cause for these strange anomalous lights.